Since 1930, the world has witnessed the beautiful game at its finest. The FIFA World Cup, where dreams are made, legends are born, and nations unite. From historic goals to unforgettable moments, this tournament has given us stories that last a lifetime. But how did it all begin? Which teams dominated? Who were the heroes that inspired generations? Join us as we journey through time, reliving every World Cup in history, the triumphs, the controversies, and the magic that makes this tournament the greatest show on earth. This is the story of the FIFA World Cup. World Cup 1930, the historic beginning of the world's greatest football tournament. The 1930 World Cup was not only the first World Cup in history, but it also marked the beginning of a football journey that has spanned nearly a century. This tournament brought emotional moments and inspiring stories that laid the foundation for the development of international football. Uruguay was chosen as the host nation because it had won Olympic gold in football in 1924 and 1928, and to celebrate the country's centenary of independence. 13 teams from 3 continents, South America, North America, and Europe, participated. However, due to high travel costs and distance, many European teams declined to attend. Only 4 European teams, France, Yugoslavia, Belgium, and Romania, agreed to cross the Atlantic Ocean to compete in Uruguay. The 13 teams were divided into 4 groups, competing in a round-robin format within each group, with the top team advancing to the semifinals. In the semifinals, Argentina and Uruguay each won decisive victories against the United States and Yugoslavia. Uruguay and Argentina then met in the final, held on July 30, 1930, at the Centenario Stadium in Montevideo, with over 93,000 spectators in attendance. This match became one of the most intense and dramatic finals in World Cup history. The final match between Uruguay and Argentina was a fierce battle. Argentina led 2-1 in the first half, but Uruguay staged a dramatic comeback in the second half to win 4-2. Héctor Castro's final goal in the 89th minute secured Uruguay's victory, making them the first national team to win a World Cup and cementing their place in football history. The 1930 World Cup was not just a football tournament. It was also a story of passion and resilience from the players, despite limited travel options and basic playing conditions. The European teams had to endure a lengthy sea voyage to reach Uruguay, while South American teams traveled hundreds of miles through various means to participate. The Centenario Stadium, which hosted the final, was built in record time to accommodate the tournament. It has since become an emblem of South American football and a cultural heritage of Uruguay. The 1930 World Cup left an indelible legacy on global football. This tournament initiated an international stage that allowed nations to showcase their football talent. It underscored the power of football to connect nations and bring joy to millions of fans worldwide. Since then, the World Cup has become an essential event in the international sports calendar. And despite facing many changes, the values from the first World Cup remain deeply cherished and remembered. World Cup 1934, Italy's triumph and the rise of global football. The 1934 FIFA World Cup hosted by Italy was a milestone in the history of international football. It was the second World Cup ever held, and unlike the inaugural tournament in Uruguay, this one attracted widespread global participation, cementing the World Cup as a truly international competition. Italy's hosting and eventual victory marked the beginning of a football legacy that would shape the game for decades to come. Unlike the 1930 World Cup, where teams were invited, the 1934 World Cup introduced a formal qualification process, an essential step in ensuring wider participation. A total of 32 teams, including defending champions Uruguay, entered the qualification rounds for 16 available spots in the finals. Interestingly, Uruguay declined to participate, citing Italy's lack of involvement in the 1930 tournament, making them the only defending champions in history to opt out of a World Cup. Italy's decision to host the World Cup was influenced by more than just football. Under the fascist government of Benito Mussolini, the event was seen as an opportunity to display national strength and unity on the global stage. Mussolini personally invested in the tournament's success, hoping that an Italian victory would reinforce his political vision and boost national pride. From newly built stadiums to a nationwide broadcasting network, Italy's preparations set new standards for future tournaments. The 1934 World Cup used a single-elimination knockout format, a contrast to the round-robin style of the 1930 tournament. This setup meant that teams faced immediate elimination if they lost, intensifying the pressure on players and creating a highly competitive atmosphere. The knockout format began from the round of 16 with no group stage, making every match crucial. This heightened the excitement and tension for fans and showcased the thrilling unpredictability of World Cup football. Italy was the tournament favorite and the team did not disappoint. Led by coach Vittorio Pozzo and captain Giuseppe Meazza, the Italian team displayed skill, discipline, and determination. Italy defeated the United States 7-1 in the first round, proving their dominance early on. They then faced Spain in the quarterfinals, which ended in a 1-1 draw and required a replay the next day, where Italy won 1-0 in a grueling battle that took a physical toll on both teams. In the semifinals, Italy overcame Austria 1-0, earning a spot in the final against Czechoslovakia. The final match, held in Rome on June 10, was intense, with both teams fighting fiercely for victory. Czechoslovakia initially led 1-0, but Italy equalized and later secured the winning goal in extra time, clinching a 2-1 victory. Italy became the first European nation to win the World Cup, igniting celebrations across the country. The 1934 World Cup was not without controversy. Allegations of biased refereeing in favor of the host nation surfaced, with claims that Mussolini's government pressured officials to ensure Italy's success. However, Italy's victory marked the beginning of a lasting legacy in world football. The country's passion, preparation, and skill were undeniable, and this World Cup demonstrated that football could be used as a tool for national pride and identity. It also underscored the importance of fair play and the influence of politics on sports, themes that would continue to shape the World Cup in the years to come. World Cup 1938, the final curtain before World War II. The 1938 FIFA World Cup in France was a historic tournament for both its thrilling matches and the turbulent global context in which it unfolded. As the third edition of the World Cup and the last before World War II, Italy emerged as champions once again, becoming the first team to defend their title. But the shadow of impending war loomed heavily over the games, adding a unique intensity and urgency to the competition. When FIFA awarded the 1938 World Cup to France, many expected the decision to promote international unity. However, the selection caused considerable controversy. Several Latin American countries, particularly Argentina and Uruguay, felt that the World Cup should have alternated continents and thus been held in South America. In protest, Argentina and Uruguay chose not to participate, a reflection of growing regional tensions. At the same time, Europe itself was politically unstable. Germany had annexed Austria earlier in 1938, and as a result, Austria's team had to withdraw, leaving 15 teams in the competition instead of the anticipated 16. Many Austrian players were absorbed into the German squad, leading to an unusual and somewhat strained composition for the German team. The 1938 World Cup maintained the knockout format introduced in 1934, with single elimination matches that left no room for error. Teams had to play their best game every time, as a single loss meant immediate elimination. This intense setup kept fans on the edge of their seats, with each match carrying high stakes and little margin for error. Brazil, making their second World Cup appearance, emerged as a powerhouse, showcasing the dynamic style that would eventually come to define Brazilian football. Their quarterfinal match against Poland was a standout, ending in a dramatic 6-5 victory, with Brazilian forward Leonidas da Silva scoring a hat-trick despite playing barefoot in overtime. Known as the Black Diamond, Leonidas would go on to become the tournament's top scorer, leaving an indelible mark on the world stage. Italy, under the leadership of coach Vittorio Pozzo, was a force to be reckoned with. Italy's team was well-disciplined and defensively strong, anchored by captain Giuseppe Meazza. In the semi-final, they defeated Brazil 2-1, setting the stage for a final clash against Hungary. The final, held on June 19, 1938, in Paris, pitted defending champions Italy against Hungary. Italy's tactical superiority and experience proved decisive, and they emerged with a convincing 4-2 victory. Goals from Gino Colossi and Silvio Piola ensured Italy's triumph, and the Azzurri became the first team to successfully defend their World Cup title. This achievement underscored Italy's dominance in international football and solidified their reputation as one of the best teams of that era. The 1938 World Cup stands as a poignant chapter in the history of football, filled with unforgettable moments, emerging talents, and political undertones. Italy's victory would mark the last celebration of international football for years, as the world soon plunged into war. The resilience and passion displayed by the players and fans in 1938 demonstrated the power of sport to unite, even in the face of looming disaster. World Cup 1950, a historic comeback after war and a shocking final. The 1950 FIFA World Cup, held in Brazil, was a historic tournament that marked the world's return to international football after World War II. The world was eager to see international football again, and FIFA selected Brazil as the host nation, seeing the country's passion for the sport and its commitment to building new infrastructure, including the now legendary Maracanã Stadium, the largest stadium in the world at that time. The 1950 tournament was also notable for teams that did not participate. Germany and Japan were excluded due to their roles in the war, while Argentina withdrew due to a disagreement with FIFA. India qualified but withdrew, reportedly because FIFA required them to play in shoes rather than barefoot, though financial and logistical issues also played a part. In a departure from previous editions, the 1950 World Cup used a unique round-robin format instead of the traditional knockout stages. 16 teams were meant to compete in 4 groups, with each group winner advancing to a final round-robin phase to determine the champion. This design was meant to ensure more matches and a fairer competition, as every team in the final phase would face each other. Only 13 teams participated, divided into 4 groups. Uruguay returned to the tournament after a 20-year absence and was placed in a group with Bolivia, who they defeated 8-0 to reach the final round. Brazil, Spain, and Sweden won their respective groups to join Uruguay in the final stage. Brazil was the clear favorite and dominated the tournament with flair and high-scoring victories, defeating Sweden 7-1 and Spain 6-1 in the final round. Led by players like Ademir, who would become the tournament's top scorer, Brazil seemed unstoppable. The country was electrified by the thought of winning its first World Cup on home soil, with the final match against Uruguay seen as a mere formality. On July 16, 1950, an unprecedented 200,000 fans packed Maracanã Stadium for the decisive match, expecting to witness Brazil's crowning moment. The country's newspapers had already printed celebratory headlines, and the Brazilian government prepared commemorative medals for the players. The match began as expected, with Brazil attacking relentlessly. Midfielder Friaca put Brazil ahead 1-0 early in the second half, and the crowd erupted in celebration. However, Uruguay's captain, Obdulio Varela, inspired his team to fight back. Uruguay equalized through one Alberto Schiaffino, stunning the crowd. In the 79th minute, Alcides Guja scored the decisive goal, giving Uruguay a shocking 2-1 lead. A stunned silence fell over the Maracanã. Brazil's fans and players alike were in disbelief as Uruguay held on to win, pulling off one of the biggest upsets in sports history. This moment became known as the Maracanazo, a national trauma that would haunt Brazilian football for decades. This loss would influence Brazil's approach to football for years to come, leading to an even greater focus on skill, resilience, and teamwork in pursuit of future World Cups. Eventually, it became a motivation for Brazil to improve and emerge as the dominant football nation of the modern era. For Uruguay, the 1950 World Cup solidified their legacy as one of the giants of international football. Despite being a small nation, Uruguay showed incredible determination, earning a second World Cup title that would be celebrated as a point of pride for generations. The 1950 World Cup stands as one of the most memorable and impactful tournaments in history. It symbolized hope and resilience after a decade of war and strife and reminded the world of football's ability to bring nations together. The shocking Maracanazo may have broken Brazil's heart, but it also propelled the country to heights that would make them the most celebrated footballing nation in history. The legacy of the 1950 World Cup lives on, reminding fans of the beauty, drama, and unpredictability that only the World Cup can bring. World Cup 1954. The miracle of Bern and the rise of a football powerhouse. Switzerland was selected to host the 1954 World Cup in honor of FIFA's 50th anniversary, and the tournament showcased a renewed spirit of international competition. 16 teams participated, divided into 4 groups, and the tournament format included a unique twist. Only 2 matches were played within each group, with seeded and unseeded teams facing off in direct elimination. This World Cup also featured the first use of television broadcasting, allowing fans around the world to witness the action live. With more goals scored than any other World Cup before or since, 140 goals in just 26 matches, the tournament became known for high-scoring games, and teams brought an open, attacking style that captivated audiences. West Germany entered the tournament with little international expectation. After World War II, German teams were only readmitted to FIFA in 1950, and the nation had been divided into East and West. For West Germany, football became a symbol of national renewal and unity. Under coach Sepp Herberger, the German team was well-organized and disciplined, led by captain Fritz Walter. They were placed in a challenging group with Hungary, the world's top-ranked team at the time, known for their mighty Magyars squad. In their initial group match against Hungary, West Germany suffered a staggering 8-3 defeat, underscoring the strength of the Hungarian team and seemingly confirming their role as heavy favorites. Hungary's team was led by the legendary Ferenc Puskás, and they entered the World Cup with a 31-game unbeaten streak, including a 6-3 victory over England at Wembley the year before. Despite their initial loss to Hungary, West Germany advanced to the knockout stages, where they defeated Turkey 7-2 and booked a place in the final after a 6-1 victory over the highly regarded Austrian team. Meanwhile, Hungary continued their dominant form, defeating Brazil and Uruguay to reach the final, setting up a rematch between Hungary and West Germany. The Hungarian team was seen as unbeatable, and few expected West Germany to stand a chance. The final was played in heavy rain at the Wankdorf Stadium in Bern, conditions that would ultimately favor West Germany's more disciplined and determined approach. Within the first 8 minutes, Hungary took a 2-0 lead through goals by Puskás and Zabor, and it seemed like another rout was in progress. However, the German team did not fold under pressure. Within minutes, they responded with Max Morlock scoring in the 10th minute, followed by Helmut Rahn's equalizer in the 18th minute. The match was now tied 2-2, and the Germans' relentless spirit and tactical discipline started to frustrate the Hungarian team. In the 84th minute, Rahn scored again, giving West Germany an astonishing 3-2 lead. The Hungarian side pressed hard to equalize, with Puskás scoring a last-minute goal that was controversially ruled offside. The final whistle blew, and West Germany had achieved the unthinkable. They had defeated the mighty Magyars, who had been considered the world's best team. This unexpected victory became known as the Miracle of Bern. The 1954 World Cup was more than just a sporting event. It was a powerful symbol of post-war resilience and the beginning of West Germany's rise as a football powerhouse. The Miracle of Bern remains a defining moment in World Cup history, illustrating the magic of football and its capacity to deliver moments of unforgettable drama and triumph against all odds. World Cup 1958, the birth of a legend and the rise of Brazilian football. Sweden, hosting the tournament for the first time, provided an idyllic European backdrop for the 1958 World Cup. It was the first World Cup to be broadcast internationally on television, allowing fans around the world to witness matches for the first time from their homes. With 16 participating teams, including debuts for the Soviet Union, Northern Ireland, and Wales, this tournament highlighted football's growing reach and influence. The Brazilian national team arrived in Sweden with a reputation as a skilled but inconsistent side, still haunted by their shocking defeat in the 1950 Maracanazo final against Uruguay. Determined to overcome that heartbreak, the team came prepared, bringing a talented roster featuring young stars like Pele and Garrincha, alongside established players like Didi, Vava, and Nilton Santos. Their coach, Vicente Fiola, introduced a new approach, emphasizing not just individual flair but also teamwork and disciplined strategy. The world was introduced to a young Pele, just 17 years old, who would forever change football. After recovering from a knee injury earlier in the tournament, Pele made his debut in the quarterfinals against Wales, scoring the winning goal and displaying glimpses of the genius that would make him one of the greatest players of all time. In the semifinals, Pelé's brilliance was on full display as he scored a hat-trick in Brazil's 5-2 victory over France, solidifying his place as a rising star. Garrincha, with his electrifying dribbling and unique playing style, dazzled audiences and created an unstoppable offensive partnership with Pelé. Together, they led a Brazilian squad that played with a combination of skill, creativity, and flair that captured the hearts of fans worldwide. On June 29, 1958, Brazil faced the host nation, Sweden, in the World Cup final. A massive crowd gathered in Stockholm to witness what would become one of the most iconic matches in football history. Sweden took an early lead, scoring in the 4th minute, but Brazil quickly responded with goals from Vavá to lead 2-1 by halftime. In the second half, Brazil's superiority became evident. Pelé scored twice, including a stunning goal where he flicked the ball over a Swedish defender before volleying it into the net. This goal became one of the defining moments of the tournament and showcased Pelé's incredible skill and composure. Another goal from Zagallo sealed the 5-2 victory, giving Brazil their first-ever World Cup title. Brazil's victory in Sweden was historic. Not only did they become the first team to win the World Cup outside their own continent, but they also introduced the world to a style of football that was dynamic, expressive, and joyful. The win united Brazil, bringing a sense of pride and identity to the nation which had long been searching for its place on the world stage. The 1958 World Cup set a new standard for international football. Brazil's attacking style, which would later be called O Jogo Bonito, captivated fans and established the nation as a global football powerhouse. Brazil's triumph in Sweden not only exorcised the ghosts of the 1950 Maracanazo but also began a period of dominance that would see Brazil win 4 more World Cups, solidifying their place as the most successful nation in the tournament's history. Pelé, who finished the tournament with 6 goals and a hero's status, became an icon of hope and inspiration, particularly for young Brazilians and aspiring footballers worldwide. His influence would be felt for decades as he continued to push the boundaries of what could be achieved on the field. World Cup 1962. Brazil defends its title amid resilience and rivalries. Chile's journey to hosting the World Cup was nothing short of miraculous. 2 years before the tournament, the country was struck by the largest earthquake ever recorded, devastating entire regions and casting doubt on Chile's ability to host the tournament. Yet, with resilience and determination, Chile rebuilt infrastructure and stadiums in record time, successfully readying itself for the world stage. Their efforts paid off as they earned respect and admiration from the international community for hosting the event amid such adversity. Brazil entered the 1962 World Cup as the reigning champions and favorites, boasting a roster filled with talent. However, the tournament would soon test their resilience in an unexpected way. During Brazil's second match against Czechoslovakia, Pelé, the hero of the 1958 World Cup, suffered a thigh injury that sidelined him for the rest of the tournament. With their star player out, Brazil's chances seemed to dim, but another player was ready to step into the spotlight. With Pelé injured, the spotlight fell on Garrincha, the mercurial winger with an extraordinary dribbling ability and an unpredictable playing style. Known for his ability to evade defenders and create scoring opportunities out of nothing, Garrincha took on the role of Brazil's leader. His performances became the stuff of legend as he scored crucial goals and lifted his teammates' spirits. In the quarterfinal against England, Garrincha scored twice in a 3-1 victory, and his 2 goals in the semifinal against Chile helped secure a 4-2 win, taking Brazil to the final. Garrincha's magical play and unique style made him the heart and soul of the Brazilian team. One of the most notorious matches of the 1962 World Cup was the group stage encounter between Chile and Italy, famously dubbed the Battle of Santiago. This match was marked by an extraordinary level of aggression, tension, and violence on the pitch. Hard tackles, punches, and scuffles broke out repeatedly, and the referee struggled to maintain control, ejecting 2 Italian players. Chile ultimately won the match 2-0, but the Battle of Santiago left a lasting mark on the tournament as one of the most intense and controversial matches in World Cup history. On June 17, 1962, Brazil faced Czechoslovakia in the final at Santiago's Estadio Nacional. The Czechoslovak team had shown great tactical skill throughout the tournament, defeating strong teams and boasting a disciplined defense. They took an early lead with a goal from Joseph Masopust, But Brazil quickly equalized through Amarildo, the young forward who had stepped in to replace Pele. In the second half, Brazil's experience and attacking flair proved decisive. Zito scored in the 69th minute, giving Brazil the lead, and Vava sealed the victory with a third goal, resulting in a 3-1 win. Brazil had successfully defended their title, becoming the second team, after Italy, to win back-to-back World Cups. Brazil's triumph in Chile confirmed their status as the world's premier footballing nation. Despite the setback of losing Pelé early in the tournament, the Brazilian team demonstrated exceptional depth, skill, and determination. Garrincha's brilliance and the contributions of players like Didi, Zito, and Vava underscored Brazil's strength as a team. A tournament of tactics and tenacity. The 1962 World Cup saw the rise of tactical football, with teams increasingly focused on defense and physicality. The tournament's rough play and defensive approach were in part a reaction to the more open and creative style Brazil had popularized. The Battle of Santiago was emblematic of this trend, as teams sometimes resorted to aggression to gain an advantage. However, Brazil's victory also highlighted the importance of technical skill and attacking flair, inspiring other nations to adopt a more dynamic style of play. Garrincha's performances, in particular, showed that creativity and skill could overcome even the toughest defenses. World Cup 1966, England's triumph and the rise of modern football. The choice of England as host nation brought the tournament to the birthplace of football. English fans were passionate, filling stadiums to capacity, while the entire nation rallied behind the home team. England's Football Association saw this as a golden opportunity to showcase the country's rich footballing tradition and lay claim to the sport's legacy. Managed by Sir Alf Ramsey, England's squad was built on defensive solidity and teamwork. Ramsey famously predicted that his team would become world champions, a bold statement that would be fulfilled under extraordinary circumstances. 16 teams qualified for the 1966 World Cup, divided into 4 groups. The group stage saw several surprises and upsets. Defending champions Brazil, weakened by injuries to Pelé due to rough play, were eliminated in the first round, a shock that sent ripples through the football world. Emerging teams like North Korea made headlines by reaching the quarterfinals after a stunning 1-0 victory over Italy, in one of the greatest upsets in World Cup history. Portugal, with Eusebio in incredible form, made a strong impression, defeating North Korea 5-3 in the quarterfinals after trailing by 3 goals. Eusebio's 4-goal performance in that game earned him the tournament's top scorer title and cemented his reputation as one of the world's most formidable players. The final match on July 30, 1966, at Wembley Stadium remains one of the most famous games in football history. England faced West Germany, a team known for its strength and tactical prowess. The final was marked by a fast pace, constant pressure, and numerous twists, with both teams demonstrating their resilience. West Germany took the lead in the 12th minute with a goal from Helmut Haller, but England quickly responded, with Geoff Hurst equalizing. Martin Peters then gave England a 2-1 lead in the second half, but with just a minute left in regular time, Wolfgang Weber scored for West Germany, sending the game into extra time. In extra time, the match's most controversial moment arrived. Geoff Hurst struck a powerful shot that hit the crossbar, bouncing down near the goal line. The referee consulted his linesman, who ruled that the ball had crossed the line. This ghost goal remains one of the most debated moments in football history, with fans and analysts still discussing whether the ball fully crossed the line. With West Germany pressing for an equalizer, Hurst scored again in the dying seconds, completing his hat trick. England won 4-2, securing their first World Cup title and igniting celebrations across the nation. England's 1966 triumph was a watershed moment for British football, marking the nation's arrival at the pinnacle of the sport. For manager Alf Ramsey, it was a validation of his tactics and leadership, while players like Bobby Moore and Geoff Hurst became national heroes. The image of Bobby Moore lifting the trophy remains iconic in English football history. As the first and only World Cup victory for England, 1966 remains a source of nostalgia and inspiration for English fans. The tournament's legacy lives on, celebrated by fans worldwide and remembered as one of the most captivating World Cups in football history. World Cup 1970, Brazil's masterpiece and the dawn of modern football. The 1970 FIFA World Cup, held in Mexico, is widely regarded as one of the greatest tournaments in football history. It was the first World Cup broadcast in color, the first held outside of Europe and South America, and the tournament where Brazil's legendary team etched its name into football folklore. The competition was marked by unforgettable matches, revolutionary tactics, and the magic of players like Pele, Tostao, and Gerd Müller. Mexican fans embraced the event with open arms, filling the iconic Estadio Azteca and other stadiums with a festive spirit. The heat and high altitude presented unique challenges, making Mexico 1970 one of the most physically demanding tournaments to date. This tournament also ushered in a new era in global television, as fans around the world could now watch the games in color, experiencing every moment and emotion vividly from afar. The Brazilian national team of 1970, often called the greatest team in football history, was a blend of flair, creativity, and skill. Under the guidance of manager Mario Zagallo, himself a two-time World Cup champion as a player, Brazil adopted an attacking approach that dazzled fans and overwhelmed opponents. This team featured stars like Pele, Jairzinho, Tostao, Rivellino, and captain Carlos Alberto, each of whom contributed unique talents to an exceptional unit. Pele, returning for his fourth World Cup, had already achieved legendary status, but was motivated to lead Brazil to a third title, which would earn them the Jules Rimet Trophy permanently. The 1970 World Cup is remembered for its high-quality matches and dramatic moments. The quarterfinal match between England, the reigning champions, and Brazil provided fans with unforgettable images, including Gordon Banks' miraculous save from Pele's header, one of the greatest saves in football history. Despite England's valiant effort, Brazil triumphed 1-0, with Jairzinho scoring the decisive goal. The semi-final between Italy and West Germany, known as the Game of the Century, further solidified the tournament's legendary status. In a thrilling 4-3 victory for Italy after extra time, the match saw 5 goals scored in the additional period, with players from both sides pushing through exhaustion to deliver a spectacle of skill and determination. Italy ultimately advanced to face Brazil in the final. On June 21, 1970, Brazil faced Italy in the final at the Azteca Stadium in front of over 100,000 fans. The two teams were vying to become the first nation to win the World Cup 3 times, a feat that would allow the winner to take permanent possession of the Jules Rimet Trophy. Brazil was relentless from the outset, displaying their trademark free-flowing and skillful football. Pele opened the scoring with a powerful header. Italy equalized through Roberto Bonacegna, but Brazil regained control in the second half with goals from Gerson and Jairzinho. The final goal came from captain Carlos Alberto, who finished off one of the most beautifully crafted team goals in football history. A sequence of precise passes culminated in Pelé setting up Carlos Alberto for a powerful strike, sealing Brazil's 4-1 victory and their third World Cup title. The 1970 World Cup was Pelé's crowning achievement. After the disappointments of 1962 and 1966, he had returned to lead Brazil with grace, intelligence, and skill. Scoring 4 goals in the tournament, Pelé played a crucial role in Brazil's campaign, and his performance in Mexico is often seen as the peak of his illustrious career. He also became the first player to score in 4 different World Cups. Having achieved everything in the sport, Pelé retired from international football as the only player to win 3 World Cups, a record that still stands today. World Cup 1974. The rise of total football and Germany's triumph. The 1974 FIFA World Cup, held in West Germany, was a tournament that revolutionized football. This World Cup was not only a battle for the trophy, but also a clash of footballing philosophies, culminating in an unforgettable final between West Germany and the Netherlands. One of the defining features of this World Cup was the rise of the Netherlands and their innovative playing style known as total football. This tactical revolution, masterminded by coach Rinus Michels and executed by Johan Cruyff and his teammates, allowed players to switch positions seamlessly, creating a fluid, attacking style that mesmerized opponents. The Dutch team, known as the Clockwork Orange, played some of the most beautiful and dominant football the world had ever seen. From the group stage to the knockout rounds, the Netherlands displayed their superiority. They demolished Argentina 4-0, defeated East Germany 2-0, and outclassed Brazil 2-0 in the second group stage to reach the final. Johan Cruyff, with his dazzling dribbles and intelligence on the ball, was the undisputed star of the tournament. While the Netherlands captivated audiences, West Germany built their campaign on discipline, efficiency, and experience. Led by captain Franz Beckenbauer, the Germans had a balanced squad featuring the prolific Gerd Müller, playmaker Wolfgang Overath, and goalkeeper Sepp Maier. The team had faced challenges in the early stages, including a shock 1-0 loss to East Germany in the group stage, but they regrouped and advanced with determination. Germany's road to the final included victories over Yugoslavia, Sweden, and a dramatic 4-2 win over Poland in terrible weather conditions. The final at Munich's Olympiastadion on July 7, 1974, was a showdown between two contrasting styles: the free-flowing attacking play of the Netherlands against the structured, methodical approach of West Germany. The match started in stunning fashion. In just the first minute, Johan Cruyff won a penalty after a brilliant solo run, without a German player even touching the ball. Johan Neeskens converted the spot kick to give the Netherlands lead 1-0 before the Germans had even completed a pass. It seemed like the Dutch were set to dominate. However, West Germany responded with resilience. They grew into the game and were awarded a penalty of their own in the 25th minute, which Paul Breitner converted to level the score. Just before halftime, Gerd Müller, Germany's legendary goal poacher, struck with a clinical finish to make it 2-1. That goal would prove to be the winner. The Netherlands continued to attack in the second half, but Germany's defense held firm. Cruyff and his teammates tried to find an equalizer, but Beckenbauer's leadership and Maier's goalkeeping ensured that West Germany lifted their second World Cup trophy. The 1974 World Cup was a tournament of transformation. It introduced a new tactical revolution with the Dutch total football philosophy, yet reaffirmed the power of German resilience and efficiency. West Germany emerged as champions, but the Netherlands won the admiration of the world. This World Cup was more than just a competition. It was a defining moment in football history that shaped the game for years to come. World Cup 1978. Argentina's glory amid controversy. The 1978 FIFA World Cup, held in Argentina, was a tournament filled with drama, excitement, and controversy. Argentina was awarded the right to host the 1978 World Cup in 1966, but by the time the tournament began, the country was under military dictatorship. The ruling junta, led by General Jorge Videla, saw the World Cup as an opportunity to improve its international image amid accusations of human rights abuses. The military regime heavily invested in infrastructure, building and renovating stadiums to ensure the tournament's success. The 1978 tournament featured 16 teams divided into 4 groups, with the top 2 from each group advancing to the second group stage. This format led to intense competition, as only the group winners of the second stage would qualify for the final. Defending champions West Germany were strong contender, along with European powerhouses Italy and the Netherlands, who were once again led by their total football philosophy. South American giants Brazil and hosts Argentina were also favorites, adding to the tournament's competitive spirit. However, the Netherlands faced a major setback as Johan Cruyff, the star of the 1974 World Cup, declined to participate. His absence was a blow to the Dutch side, but did not stop them from making a deep run in the tournament. The group stages delivered thrilling football and shocking results. Argentina advanced from Group 1 alongside Italy, despite losing 1-0 to the Italians in a tense encounter. The Netherlands topped Group 4, displaying attacking flair despite missing Cruyff. One of the most controversial moments occurred in the second group stage. Argentina needed a 4-goal victory over Peru to reach the final at the expense of Brazil. In a stunning performance, Argentina defeated Peru 6-0, leading to widespread allegations of match-fixing. Rumors circulated about political pressure and even bribery, although no concrete evidence was ever found. The result remains one of the most debated in World Cup history. The final took place on June 25, 1978, at the Estadio Monumental in Buenos Aires, in front of a fervent home crowd. Argentina faced the Netherlands, who were making their second consecutive appearance in the final after finishing as runners-up in 1974. The atmosphere was electric, with Argentine fans creating an intense, intimidating environment. Controversy emerged before the match even began, as Argentina delayed their entrance onto the pitch, disrupting the Dutch warm-up routine. Additionally, the Argentines questioned the legality of Dutch winger René van de Kerkhof's cast, further unsettling their opponents. The match itself was a gripping contest. Argentina took the lead through Mario Kempes, who was in sensational form throughout the tournament. The Netherlands equalized late in the second half with a goal from Dick Nanninga, and they nearly won the game in the final moments. But Rob Rensenbrink's shot struck the post. In extra time, Argentina's attacking brilliance prevailed. Kempes scored his second goal, showcasing his dribbling skills and determination. Daniel Bertoni added another, sealing a 3-1 victory for Argentina and sparking wild celebrations across the nation. Mario Kempes was the standout player of the 1978 World Cup. The only foreign-based player in Argentina's squad, Kempes played his club football for Valencia in Spain. He finished the tournament as the top scorer with 6 goals, including 2 crucial strikes in the final. Kempes' powerful running, clinical finishing, and creativity made him the tournament's best player, earning him the Golden Boot and the Golden Ball. Argentina's victory was historic, marking their first World Cup title and establishing them as a footballing powerhouse. However, the political backdrop and allegations of corruption have continued to haunt the 1978 World Cup. The 6-0 win over Peru remains one of football's greatest mysteries, with some alleging that the match was fixed to ensure Argentina's progression. Despite the controversies, the football on display was mesmerizing, and the tournament showcased a new era of tactical evolution. World Cup 1982, Italy's redemption and the magic of Brazil. The 1982 FIFA World Cup, hosted by Spain, marked a new chapter in World Cup history with the expansion from 16 to 24 teams. This change allowed emerging football nations like Algeria, Cameroon, Honduras, and Kuwait to participate, highlighting the global growth of the sport. The tournament featured a new format with a first group stage followed by a second group stage, semifinals, and the final. The expanded format delivered thrilling stories and shocking upsets. Algeria stunned West Germany 2-1 in the group stage, and Cameroon held Italy to a 1-1 draw, narrowly missing out on progression. However, the most controversial moment came when West Germany and Austria played out a 1-0 result that allowed both teams to advance at Algeria's expense, leading to calls for reform and the introduction of simultaneous final group matches in future tournaments. Brazil's 1982 squad, led by coach Tele Santana, is widely regarded as one of the greatest teams never to win the World Cup. Featuring stars like Zico, Socrates, Falcao, and Eder, Brazil played a mesmerizing brand of attacking football, combining flair, creativity, and precision passing. Their performances in the group stages were a masterclass, including a 4-1 demolition of Scotland and a 3-1 victory over Argentina in the second group phase. The team's free-flowing style and attacking philosophy captivated fans worldwide, with many believing that Brazil was destined for glory. However, their dream was shattered in one of the most iconic matches in World Cup history. On July 5, 1982, in Barcelona's Estadio Sarria, Italy and Brazil faced off in a match that would become legendary. Italy, led by coach Enzo Bearzot, had struggled in the group stage with 3 draws but had gained momentum by defeating Argentina 2-1 in the second round. The match was a showcase of contrasting styles, Brazil's attacking brilliance against Italy's disciplined defense and counter-attacking efficiency. Paolo Rossi, who had struggled earlier in the tournament, delivered a performance for the ages, scoring a hat-trick in Italy's 3-2 victory. Rossi's goals were a masterclass in positioning and finishing, while Brazil's defensive frailties were exposed. After defeating Brazil, Italy grew stronger. In the semi-finals, they overcame Poland 2-0, with Rossi again scoring both goals. The final at Madrid's Santiago Bernabéu Stadium saw Italy face West Germany, who had advanced after a dramatic semi-final victory over France in a penalty shootout, the first in World Cup history. The final on July 11, 1982, was a testament to Italy's resurgence. After a goalless first half, Rossi continued his incredible form by opening the scoring. Marco Tardelli added a second with a memorable goal, celebrating with an iconic, passionate run and scream. Alessandro Altobelli sealed the victory with a third goal, and Italy triumphed 3-1, with Paul Breitner scoring a consolation goal for West Germany. Italy's victory marked their third World Cup title, matching Brazil's record at the time. Paolo Rossi won the Golden Boot as the tournament's top scorer with 6 goals and was awarded the Golden Ball as the best player of the tournament. His transformation from a player suspended for match fixing in 1980 to a national hero was a remarkable redemption story. The 1982 FIFA World Cup was a showcase of football's beauty, unpredictability, and drama. Italy's journey from underwhelming beginnings to champions highlighted the importance of resilience and team spirit. Brazil's brilliance provided memories of what football could be at its artistic peak, even in defeat. The tournament's expanded format brought new stories and heroes from around the globe, solidifying football's status as the world's game. World Cup 1986. Maradona's masterpiece and the hand of God. The 1986 FIFA World Cup, originally scheduled to be hosted by Colombia, the 1986 World Cup was moved to Mexico due to Colombia's economic difficulties. Mexico became the first country to host the tournament twice. Despite concerns about the searing heat and high altitude, the tournament was a spectacular success, showcasing vibrant stadiums, passionate fans, and thrilling football. The competition expanded to 24 teams for the second time, featuring a knockout stage after the group phase. Favorites included reigning champions Italy, European powerhouses West Germany and France, and South American giants Brazil and Argentina. However, it was Maradona who stole the spotlight, turning the tournament into his personal stage. Argentina was drawn into Group A alongside Italy, South Korea, and Bulgaria. Maradona immediately showcased his playmaking brilliance, orchestrating attacks with sublime dribbling and pinpoint passes. In a 3-1 victory over South Korea, he provided 2 assists, setting the tone for his remarkable campaign. A 1-1 draw with defending champions Italy saw Maradona score a stunning equalizer, bending a precise shot past goalkeeper Giovanni Galli. Argentina topped the group after a 2-0 win against Bulgaria, with Maradona once again pulling the strings. It was clear that Argentina's hopes rested on his shoulders. The quarterfinal against England was set against a politically charged backdrop, following the Falklands War. The match at Mexico City's Estadio Azteca became one of the most iconic in football history due to 2 unforgettable moments from Maradona. In the 51st minute, Maradona scored the controversial hand of God goal. Leaping to challenge goalkeeper Peter Shilton, he used his left fist to punch the ball into the net. Despite protests from the English players, the goal was allowed to stand, with Maradona later describing it as a little with the head of Maradona and a little with the hand of God. Just 4 minutes later, Maradona produced magic. Picking up the ball in his own half, he embarked on an extraordinary solo run, dribbling past 5 English players before slotting the ball into the net. The goal, later voted the goal of the century, was a masterpiece of speed, balance, and skill. England pulled one back through Gary Lineker, the tournament's top scorer, but Argentina held on to win 2-1. The match perfectly encapsulated Maradona's duality. Cunning and controversy combined with breathtaking brilliance. In the semifinals, Maradona delivered another masterclass, scoring both goals in a 2-0 victory over Belgium. His second goal was a mesmerizing solo effort, weaving through defenders before calmly finishing past goalkeeper Jean-Marie Pfaff. Argentina were through to the final, and Maradona's legend continued to grow. The final on June 29, 1986, pitted Argentina against West Germany, led by captain Karl-Heinz Rummenigge and coach Franz Beckenbauer. Played in front of 114,600 fans at the Estadio Azteca, the match was a dramatic showdown. Argentina took the lead through José Luis Brown's header, capitalizing on a mistake by goalkeeper Harald Schumacher. Jorge Valdano made it 2-0 in the second half, seemingly putting Argentina in control. However, West Germany mounted a stunning comeback, with Rummenigge and Rudi Völler scoring to level the match at 2-2. With the momentum shifting towards West Germany, Maradona once again showcased his genius. Receiving the ball in midfield, he threaded a sublime through pass to Jorge Burruchaga, who raced clear and calmly finished to restore Argentina's lead. The match ended 3-2, securing Argentina's second World Cup title. Maradona lifted the trophy as captain, having scored 5 goals and provided 5 assists. His influence on the tournament was unmatched, and he was rightfully awarded the Golden Ball as the best player. World Cup 1990, drama, defense, and West Germany's triumph. The 1990 FIFA World Cup, held in Italy, was a tournament of contrasts. Italia 90 was expected to be a festival of football in the land of Serie A superstars, world-class stadiums, and passionate tifosi. Yet, the tournament became infamous for its defensive tactics, with teams prioritizing caution and organization over attacking brilliance. It recorded the lowest goals per game average 2.21 in World Cup history and saw a record 16 red cards. The tactical focus on defense was highlighted by the widespread use of the sweeper system and man-marking strategies, leading to numerous low-scoring matches and penalty shootouts. The group stage provided early drama and shocking upsets. In the opening match, Cameroon stunned reigning champions Argentina 1-0 in Milan. The indomitable Lions became the first African team to reach the quarterfinals, capturing hearts worldwide with their charismatic striker, Roger Milla. West Germany, led by captain Lothar Matthäus, showcased attacking power in the group stage, thrashing Yugoslavia 4-1 and the United Arab Emirates 5-1. Matthäus was magnificent, scoring 2 spectacular goals against Yugoslavia. Hosts Italy, inspired by emerging star Salvatore Toto Schillaci, won all 3 group games without conceding a goal. Schillaci, relatively unknown before the tournament, became a national hero with his energetic performances and crucial goals. Defending champions Argentina stumbled through the group stage, losing to Cameroon and narrowly advancing as one of the best third-place teams. Maradona, hampered by injury, struggled to inspire his team, but more drama awaited. The knockout rounds were filled with tension and drama, often decided by penalties. Argentina eliminated Brazil 1-0, courtesy of Claudio Canigia's goal after a brilliant solo run by Maradona. West Germany defeated defending European champions Netherlands 2-1 by Jurgen Klinsmann and Andreas Brehm's goal. In the quarterfinals, Cameroon's fairy-tale run ended in a thrilling 3-2 extra-time defeat to England. Despite leading 2-1, they conceded 2 penalties, both converted by Gary Lineker. Roger Milla's inspiring performances made Cameroon the tournament's darlings. In a tense 0-0 draw versus Yugoslavia, Argentina advanced on penalties 3-2, with goalkeeper Sergio Goycochea emerging as a hero by saving 2 spot kicks. In the semifinals, West Germany beat England 4-3 on penalties after a 1-1 draw, and Argentina also beat hosts Italy by the same score. The final on July 8, 1990, at Rome Stadio Olimpico was a rematch of the 1986 decider. However, it was a stark contrast in quality and excitement. In a bruising, ill-tempered contest, Argentina adopted ultra-defensive tactics. West Germany dominated possession but struggled to break down Argentina's resolute defense. The turning point came in the 85th minute when referee Edgardo Codsal awarded a controversial penalty after Rudi Völler was fouled by Roberto Sensini. Andreas Brehme calmly converted the spot kick, giving West Germany a 1-0 lead. The match ended in chaos, with Argentina reduced to 9 men after Pedro Monzon and Gustavo Dizzati were sent off. Maradona, marked out of the game, was in tears as West Germany celebrated their 3rd World Cup title. Lothar Matthäus lifted the trophy, capping a brilliant tournament as captain and playmaker. World Cup 1994. Drama, glory, and tragedy on American soil. It was the first time the World Cup was held in the U.S., marking FIFA's boldest attempt to popularize football in a country dominated by other sports. The tournament became the most commercially successful in history, drawing record-breaking crowds and global TV audiences. FIFA's decision to host the 1994 World Cup in the U.S. was controversial. Many doubted the country's passion for football, but the tournament shattered all expectations. With state-of-the-art stadiums, perfect weather, and vibrant atmospheres, it set records for attendance and television viewership. To boost local interest, FIFA mandated the creation of Major League Soccer, MLS, which officially launched in 1996. The 1994 World Cup thus became a catalyst for football's growth in the U.S., paving the way for future generations of American players and fans. The tournament featured 24 teams in 6 groups, with the top 2 from each group and the 4 best third-place teams advancing to the round of 16. From dazzling goals to shocking exits, the group stage provided high drama. In a 6-1 victory over Cameroon, Russia's Oleg Salenko scored 5 goals, setting a World Cup record for the most goals by an individual in a single match. Argentina started brilliantly, defeating Greece 4-0 and Nigeria 2-1, with Diego Maradona scoring a stunning goal. However, his emotional celebration raised suspicions, and he was later expelled from the tournament after testing positive for ephedrine. Without their talisman, Argentina lost to Bulgaria and were eliminated by Romania in the round of 16. Colombia were shockingly eliminated in the group stage. Their 2-1 defeat to the U.S. was marked by Andrés Escobar's own goal, which led to his tragic murder in Medellin days later. His death cast a shadow over the tournament, symbolizing the dark intersection of football and crime in Colombia. The U.S. exceeded expectations, advancing to the knockout stage after defeating Colombia 2-1. Led by coach Bora Milutinovic, they showcased resilience and unity, captivating American audiences. The knockout rounds were filled with unforgettable moments, shocking exits, and penalty shootout drama. Brazil narrowly defeated the hosts 1-0, then beat the Netherlands 3-2 in the quarterfinals and Sweden 1-0 in the semifinals to advance to the final match. In addition, Roberto Baggio led Italy to the final with a goal in the 2-1 victory over Spain in the quarterfinals and 2 goals in the 2-1 victory over Bulgaria. On July 17, 1994, the Rose Bowl in Pasadena hosted the final between 2 football giants, Brazil and Italy. It was a tactical battle, with both teams cautious and defensive, wary of each other's attacking talents. Despite the presence of stars like Romario, Bebeto, and Roberto Baggio, the match ended 0-0 after extra time, the first goalless final in World Cup history. The title was to be decided by a penalty shootout, another first for the World Cup final. Brazil converted 3 penalties, while Italy missed 2. With the score at 3-2, Roberto Baggio, Italy's hero throughout the tournament, stepped up needing to score to keep Italy's hopes alive. Under immense pressure, Baggio blasted his penalty over the crossbar, handing Brazil their 4th World Cup title. Baggio's miss became one of the most heartbreaking moments in football history. Overcome with anguish, he stood motionless on the field as Brazil celebrated. The 1994 FIFA World Cup was a spectacle of joy, heartbreak, and drama. Brazil's triumph restored their status as football's leading nation, while Roberto Baggio's missed penalty became a symbol of the game's cruel beauty. In a country unfamiliar with football's traditions, the 1994 World Cup captivated millions, paving the way for the sport's rise in the U.S. It was a tournament of unforgettable moments, etched forever in the annals of football history. World Cup 1998. France's glorious triumph and Ronaldo's mysterious final. France 1998 was the first World Cup to feature 32 teams, expanding from 24 to accommodate more nations from Asia, Africa, and North America. This change added excitement and unpredictability, bringing new stars and thrilling narratives. The tournament's global appeal was evident in its diverse participants, including debutants like Croatia, Jamaica, Japan, and South Africa. Croatia, led by Davor Suker, became the tournament's surprise package, finishing 3rd and showcasing their attacking flair. The group stage was full of memorable moments, with established powers battling emerging nations and unexpected twists. Hosts France were impressive from the start, winning all 3 group matches. Led by Zidane, Thierry Henry, and Lilian Thuram, they showcased attacking football, defeating South Africa, Saudi Arabia, and Denmark. Defending champions Brazil, led by Ronaldo de Lima, cruised through the group stage, scoring goals with flair and confidence. Ronaldo was electric, supported by Rivaldo and Bebeto. Argentina dazzled with their attacking style, winning their group with standout performances from Gabriel Batistuta and Ariel Ortega. The knockout rounds delivered unforgettable drama, iconic goals, and heart-stopping tension. Round of 16, in one of the most memorable World Cup matches, Argentina defeated England on penalties after a 2-2 draw. The match featured Michael Owen's sensational solo goal at 18 years old and David Beckham's infamous red card for kicking Diego Simeone. England's exit was controversial, with fans blaming Beckham for the loss. In quarterfinals, Dennis Bergkamp scored one of the greatest World Cup goals. A sublime control and finish in the 90th minute, securing a 2-1 win for the Netherlands. Brazil advanced straight to the final thanks to the brilliance of Ronaldo and Rivaldo, along with goalkeeper Claudio Taffarel in the penalty shootout against Netherlands in semi-finals. On July 12, 1998, the Stade de France was electric with anticipation. Brazil, the defending champions, were favorites with Ronaldo leading the attack. However, the football world was stunned when Ronaldo's name was initially missing from the lineup. Amid rumors of a health scare, he was reinstated just before kickoff, but looked out of sorts throughout the match. France seized the opportunity, dominating from start to finish. Zinedine Zidane scored 2 headers from corners, giving France a 2-0 lead by halftime. Emmanuel Petit added a third in stoppage time, sealing a historic 3-0 victory. Zidane was majestic, his 2 goals cementing his status as a national hero. France celebrated their first-ever World Cup triumph, uniting the nation in joyous celebrations. President Jacques Chirac joined the players on the pitch, celebrating a victory that transcended football. The mystery surrounding Ronaldo's performance, however, overshadowed Brazil's defeat. It was later revealed that he suffered a seizure the night before the final, leading to speculation about pressure, health issues, and even conspiracy theories. Ronaldo's courage to play despite his condition was both heroic and tragic. World Cup 2002, Brazil's 5th crown and the rise of Asia. For the first time in history, the World Cup ventured to Asia, co-hosted by South Korea and Japan. This decision was met with skepticism, but both nations delivered a flawlessly organized tournament, showcasing their rich cultures and state-of-the-art stadiums. The colorful fan atmospheres and remarkable hospitality made the 2002 World Cup a unique and unforgettable experience. The tournament's global reach expanded as football's popularity soared in Asia. It marked the beginning of a new era for the sport, inspiring millions of new fans and paving the way for Asia's growing influence in world football. The group stage was filled with drama and surprises as traditional football powers stumbled and underdogs rose to the occasion. France, the reigning champions, suffered a disastrous campaign, becoming the first defending champions to exit without scoring a single goal. Shocked by Senegal 1-0 in the opener, they drew 0-0 with Uruguay and lost 2-0 to Denmark. Without an injured Zinedine Zidane, France's golden generation crashed out in disgrace. Group F was labeled the Group of Death, featuring Argentina, England, Sweden, and Nigeria. Despite high expectations, Argentina were eliminated after a draw with Sweden and a 1-0 loss to England, courtesy of David Beckham's penalty, his redemption from the red card in 1998. Senegal, making their debut, stunned the world by defeating defending champions France. Led by El Hadji Diouf and captain Aliou Cissé, they reached the quarterfinals, matching Cameroon's 1990 achievement for Africa. Both two hosts South Korea and Japan progressed to the knockout stage, thrilling home fans and showcasing Asia's football growth. The knockout rounds were filled with spectacular goals, controversial decisions, and emotional drama. In one of the most controversial matches in World Cup history, South Korea stunned Italy 2-1 with Ahn Jung-hwan's golden goal. The match was marred by questionable officiating, including a disallowed goal for Italy and controversial red card for Francesco Totti. After that was another controversial victory in the quarterfinals, defeating Spain on penalties after 2 Spanish goals were disallowed in regulation time. They only stopped when they were defeated by Germany in the semifinals, with the only goal scored by Michael Ballack. Ballack received a yellow card, which prevented him from playing in the final. In a highly anticipated clash, Brazil defeated England 2-1 in quarterfinals. Ronaldinho's audacious long-range free kick over goalkeeper David Seaman became one of the tournament's most iconic goals. After that, they secured a narrow victory over Turkey with a goal from Ronaldo to advance to the final. The 2002 World Cup final on June 30th at the International Stadium Yokohama featured 2 footballing giants, Brazil and Germany. Surprisingly, it was their first-ever World Cup encounter. The match was billed as Ronaldo's chance for redemption after his mysterious collapse before the 1998 final. The first half was tightly contested, with German goalkeeper Oliver Kahn making crucial saves. However, a rare mistake by Kahn in the 67th minute allowed Ronaldo to score the opening goal, pouncing on a rebound. Ronaldo sealed victory in the 79th minute with a composed finish after Rivaldo's brilliant dummy, securing a 2-0 win for Brazil. Ronaldo's brace crowned him the tournament's top scorer with 8 goals, completing his redemption arc in spectacular fashion. He was back to his best, silencing critics and conquering his personal demons. Brazil celebrated their 5th World Cup title, becoming the most successful nation in World Cup history. The 2002 FIFA World Cup was a tournament of surprise and unforgettable drama. It showcased the rise of Asian football, the power of underdogs, and the magic of Ronaldo's comeback. Brazil's triumph restored their footballing supremacy while Ronaldo's heroic story became legendary. World Cup 2006. Italy's 4th crown and Zidane's farewell. The 2006 FIFA World Cup in Germany was a tournament of passion, drama, and unforgettable moments. It was a celebration of football's beauty and unpredictability, marked by spectacular goals, tactical battles, and emotional farewells. Germany welcomed the world with exceptional organization, vibrant stadiums, and an electric atmosphere. It was the first World Cup in Germany since reunification, showcasing a modern nation with a rich football heritage. The slogan, "A time to make friends," captured the spirit of unity and celebration. The tournament was a commercial and cultural success, with passionate fans from around the globe creating unforgettable scenes of color and joy. Germany's youthful team, led by coach Jürgen Klinsmann, played attractive attacking football, igniting national pride and laying the foundation for future success. The hosts impressed with attacking football, winning all 3 group matches against Costa Rica, Poland, and Ecuador. Miroslav Klose led the scoring, supported by rising stars like Lukas Podolski and Bastian Schweinsteiger. Riding on their momentum, Germany defeated Sweden 2-0 with a brace from Podolski in the round of 16. Argentina played mesmerizing football, highlighted by a 6-0 demolition of Serbia and Montenegro. Esteban Cambiaso's team goal, involving 24 passes, was hailed as one of the best in World Cup history. France struggled initially, drawing against Switzerland and South Korea before defeating Togo to advance. Zidane's return from suspension inspired a resurgence. He led the team to consecutive victories, defeating Spain 3-1 in the round of 16, Brazil 1-0 in the quarterfinals, and by the same scoreline against Cristiano Ronaldo's Portugal in the semifinals. Defending champions Brazil showcased attacking brilliance with Ronaldinho, Kaká, Adriano, and Ronaldo. Ronaldo surpassed Gerd Muller's record for the most goals scored in World Cup history. But they couldn't overcome the vastly experienced Zidane in the midfield. On July 9, 2006, the Olympic Stadium in Berlin hosted one of the most dramatic World Cup finals. It was a showdown between Italy's tactical discipline and France's creativity, led by Zidane in his final international match. The match began dramatically with Zidane's audacious Panenka penalty, giving France an early lead. Italy responded quickly, with Marco Materazzi heading in an equalizer from a corner. The 2 goal scorers would later become central figures in the final's most controversial moment. In the 110th minute, Zidane shocked the world by headbutting Materazzi in the chest after an exchange of words. Zidane was sent off in disgrace, his career ending in controversy and disbelief. The match remained level at 1-1 after extra time, leading to penalties. Italy held their nerve in the penalty shootout, winning 5-3, with Fabio Grosso scoring the decisive kick. It was Italy's 4th World Cup title. Captain Fabio Cannavaro lifted the trophy, capping a heroic defensive tournament. The 2006 FIFA World Cup was a tournament of contrasts: tactical brilliance and attacking flair, heroism and controversy. Italy's triumph showcased defensive mastery, while Zidane's final act shocked the world. It was a World Cup of farewells and new beginnings, of heartbreak and glory. From Zidane's genius to Cannavaro's leadership, from Ronaldo's record to Germany's resurgence, the 2006 World Cup remains one of the most memorable and emotional chapters in football history. World Cup 2010, Spain's glory and Africa's historic stage. The 2010 FIFA World Cup was a tournament of firsts, dreams, and unforgettable moments. Held in South Africa, it was the first World Cup on African soil, uniting the continent in celebration and showcasing its vibrant culture. South Africa welcomed the world with open arms, transforming the 2010 World Cup into a celebration of African pride and unity. The tournament's slogan, "Kaneko, it's time," symbolized Africa's moment to shine. From Johannesburg's soccer city to Cape Town's stunning backdrop, the stadiums were architectural marvels echoing with the buzzing sound of vuvuzelas. The opening ceremony showcased Africa's rich cultural diversity, while Nelson Mandela's brief appearance added emotional significance. The 2010 World Cup was more than just football, it was a cultural festival, changing global perceptions and inspiring future African generations. South Africa became the first host nation to be eliminated in the group stage, despite memorable performances. They drew 1-1 with Mexico, lost to Uruguay, and defeated France 2-1, but goal difference denied them progression. But the opening goal by Sifuit Shabalala against Mexico sent the nation into euphoria, symbolizing hope and unity. Italy, champions in 2006, suffered a humiliating exit, finishing last in their group behind Paraguay, Slovakia, and New Zealand. A 3-2 defeat to Slovakia sealed their fate. France's campaign was marred by internal conflicts and poor performances. A player revolt led by Nicolas Anelka's expulsion led to a group stage exit, sparking national outrage. All 5 South American teams, Brazil, Argentina, Uruguay, Paraguay, and Chile, advanced to the knockout stage, showcasing the continent's football strength. In the round of 16, Germany crushed England 4-1 in a controversial match. Frank Lampard's shot, which clearly crossed the line, was not given as a goal, reigniting calls for goal line technology. Argentina triumphed 3-1, but controversy arose when Carlos Teves's opening goal was offside, sparking debate over refereeing standards. Moving on to the quarterfinals, in one of the most dramatic moments in World Cup history, Uruguay's Luis Suarez handled the ball on the line in the final minute of extra time to deny Ghana a winning goal. Asamoah Gyan missed the resulting penalty, and Uruguay won 4-2 on penalties, shattering Africa's dream of a semi-final spot. Germany demolished Argentina 4-0 with a masterclass of counter-attacking football. Miroslav Klose scored twice, while Lionel Messi was neutralized. Meanwhile, Spain edged Paraguay 1-0 in a dramatic match featuring 2 missed penalties within a minute. David Villa's late goal secured Spain's first-ever semi-final appearance. In the semi-finals, the Netherlands won Uruguay 3-2 in an entertaining clash. Giovanni van Bronckhorst's stunning long-range strike was a tournament highlight. In the other match, Germany couldn't break down Spain's tiki-taka and suffered a 1-0 defeat from a brilliant header by Carles Puyol off a corner kick. The 2010 World Cup final on July 11th at Soccer City, Johannesburg, was a tense and hard-fought battle between Spain's artistry and the Netherlands' physical approach. It was a clash of footballing philosophies, marked by fierce tackles and controversial decisions. English referee Howard Webb issued a record 14 yellow cards and 1 red card. Nigel de Jong's kung fu kick on Xabi Alonso, which only received a yellow, was heavily criticized. Both teams missed clear chances, with Arjen Robben twice denied by Spain's goalkeeper Iker Casillas. After a goalless 90 minutes, the match went into extra time. In the 116th minute, Andres Iniesta scored the decisive goal, smashing the ball past Martin Stekelenburg after a pass from Cesc Fabregas. Iniesta's emotional celebration honored his late friend Dani Jarque, bringing tears to fans worldwide. Spain's 1-0 victory secured their first World Cup title, making them the 3rd team to win the trophy as European champions. Their tiki-taka philosophy, orchestrated by Xavi and Iniesta, was hailed as a footballing masterpiece. The 2010 FIFA World Cup was more than just a tournament, it was a celebration of unity, culture, and football's global power. It symbolized Africa's dream, Spain's artistry, and the heartbreak of missed opportunities. From Iniesta's winning goal to Suarez's infamous handball, from Germany's youthful brilliance to Ghana's tragic exit, the 2010 World Cup remains an emotional chapter in football history. Spain's triumph defined an era of beautiful football, while South Africa's success as hosts united a continent. It was truly a World Cup to remember. World Cup 2014, Germany's triumph and Brazil's nightmare. The 2014 FIFA World Cup in Brazil was a spectacle of football brilliance, passion, and heartbreak. It was a tournament of dazzling goals, unforgettable moments, and one of the most shocking results in World Cup history. Brazil, the land of football legends, samba and carnival, hosted the World Cup for the first time since 1950. Expectations were high as the nation hoped to erase the painful memory of the Maracanazo, their shocking defeat to Uruguay in the 1950 final. The stadiums were architectural marvels, from Rio de Janeiro's iconic Maracana to Sao Paulo's modern Arena Corinthians. Brazil's vibrant culture, passionate fans, and rhythmic music created an electrifying atmosphere. The tournament's official song, "We Are One" by Pitbull, Jennifer Lopez, and Claudia Leite, echoed throughout the cities, celebrating unity and joy. The World Cup 2010 group stage averaged nearly 3 goals per game, showcasing attacking football and thrilling matches. Brazil started strongly with a 3-1 victory over Croatia, led by Neymar's brilliance. They topped Group A despite a nervy draw against Mexico and a dominant 4-1 win over Cameroon. Defending champions Spain were humiliated, losing 5-1 to the Netherlands and 2-0 to Chile. Their golden era ended abruptly as they failed to progress beyond the group stage. Colombia's James Rodriguez dazzled with skill, scoring in every group match, including a stunning volley against Uruguay in the round of 16. In the group of death with Italy, Uruguay, and England, underdog Costa Rica shocked the world, finishing top and advancing to the quarterfinals. Round of 16, in a dramatic comeback, the Netherlands won 2-1 with a controversial late penalty won by Arjen Robben, sparking the term, "no era penal," it wasn't a penalty, in Mexican football culture. For the host team, a tense 1-1 draw led to a dramatic penalty shootout. Chile's Gonzalo Jara hit the post, sending Brazil through amid national relief. Costa Rica continued to make history by defeating Greece in a tense penalty shootout. Go to the quarterfinals, Brazil beat Colombia 2-1, but the victory came at a cost. Neymar was ruled out of the tournament with a fractured vertebra after a challenge by Juan Zuniga, devastating the host nation. One of the greatest substitution decisions in World Cup history occurred in the match between the Netherlands and Costa Rica. As the game was heading to a penalty shootout, coach Louis van Gaal substituted goalkeeper Jasper Cillessen with Tim Krul, who saved 2 penalties to secure the victory. In the other 2 matches, Germany and Argentina comfortably defeated France and Belgium, respectively. Semifinals, in one of the most shocking results in World Cup history, Germany destroyed Brazil 7-1 in Belo Horizonte. Within 29 minutes, Germany led 5-0, leaving the Brazilian fans in tears. This was undoubtedly an unforgettable defeat for generations of Brazilians. Miroslav Klose became the all-time World Cup top scorer, surpassing Ronaldo's record. Meanwhile, Argentina overcame the Netherlands thanks to the brilliance of goalkeeper Sergio Romero, who saved 2 penalties after the teams were tied 0-0 in regular time. On July 13, 2014, the Maracana Stadium hosted a dramatic final between Germany and Argentina. It was a rematch of the 1986 and 1990 finals, with Lionel Messi seeking to emulate Diego Maradona's glory. The match was fiercely contested, with both sides missing clear chances. Gonzalo Higuaín wasted a golden opportunity, and Messi's shot narrowly missed the post. Germany's goalkeeper Manuel Neuer was heroic, while Argentina's defense remained resolute. In the 113th minute of extra time, substitute Mario Götze produced a moment of magic. Controlling André Schürrle's cross with his chest, he volleyed the ball past Sergio Romero, scoring the only goal of the match. Götze's brilliance sealed Germany's 1-0 victory, making them the first European team to win a World Cup in South America. The 2014 FIFA World Cup was a tournament of stunning goals, dramatic moments, and footballing excellence. Germany's triumph was a victory for teamwork, strategy, and perseverance, while Brazil's tears were a reminder of football's emotional power. World Cup 2018, France's second triumph and a tournament of surprises. The 2018 FIFA World Cup in Russia was a thrilling celebration of football that captivated fans worldwide. Russia's selection as host was controversial, facing skepticism over political tensions and logistical challenges. Yet, the country delivered a remarkable tournament, showcasing modern stadiums, passionate crowds, and vibrant host cities like Moscow, St. Petersburg, and Sochi. Despite political controversies, the tournament was celebrated for its organization, safety, and the warm hospitality of Russian fans. It also became the most technologically advanced World Cup, introducing the video assistant referee system VAR, which played a crucial role in many key moments. The group stage was filled with stunning upsets and exciting football. Defending champions Germany crashed out in the group stage for the first time since 1938. After a shocking 1-0 loss to Mexico and a dramatic 2-0 defeat to South Korea, the four-time champions were eliminated, marking the end of an era. The introduction of VAR influenced many critical decisions, including penalties and offside calls, sparking debates among fans and pundits. Cristiano Ronaldo scored a hat-trick in a 3-3 draw against Spain, while Luka Modric inspired Croatia to top Group D with dominant performances. The knockout rounds were filled with drama, tension, and unforgettable moments. Host nation Russia shocked Spain, winning on penalties after a 1-1 draw, in one of the tournament's biggest upsets. In one of the tournament's most exciting matches, France defeated Argentina 4-3. Kylian Mbappé announced his arrival on the world stage with a stunning brace, showcasing blistering pace and clinical finishing. Japan led 2-0, but Belgium produced a historic comeback, winning 3-2 with a last-minute counterattack finished by Nacer Chadli. In a high-octane clash of the quarterfinals, Belgium stunned Brazil 2-1 with a tactical masterclass. Kevin De Bruyne's sensational strike and Thibaut Courtois' heroics ended Brazil's hopes of a sixth title. England defeated Sweden 2-0, reaching the semi-finals for the first time since 1990, led by Harry Kane's goals and Gareth Southgate's tactical acumen. In the semi-finals, by a tight tactical, France edged Belgium 1-0, with Samuel Umtiti's header proving decisive. Didier Deschamps' disciplined strategy nullified Belgium's attacking prowess. Croatia defeated England 2-1 in extra time, with Mario Mandzukic's winner sending them to their first-ever World Cup final. Luka Modric's leadership and relentless work rate inspired a nation of just over 4 million people. On July 15, 2018, at Moscow's Luzhniki Stadium, France faced Croatia in a historic final. It was a matchup of power against perseverance, youth against experience. France took the lead through an own goal by Mario Mandzukic in the 18th minute, the first in World Cup final history. Ivan Perisic equalized with a stunning strike, but soon after, a controversial VAR review awarded France a penalty for handball. Antoine Griezmann converted, giving France a 2-1 lead. In the second half, Paul Pogba and Kylian Mbappé scored spectacular goals to make it 4-1. Mbappé became the first teenager since Pele to score in a World Cup final. 69th minute, a goalkeeping error by Hugo Lloris allowed Mandzukic to score, but it was merely a consolation as France triumphed 4-2. France lifted the World Cup for the second time, with Didier Deschamps joining an elite club of individuals to win the trophy as both player and manager. The 2018 FIFA World Cup in Russia was a tournament of dreams and drama, glory and heartbreak. France's triumphant victory, Croatia's inspiring run, and the emergence of new footballing heroes created unforgettable memories. It was a World Cup that celebrated youth, unity, and the universal love for football. From Mbappé's lightning speed to Modric's brilliance, from Germany's shock exit to Croatia's fairy tale, the 2018 World Cup truly embodied the spirit of the beautiful game. World Cup 2022. Argentina's glory and Messi's crowning moment. The FIFA World Cup 2022 in Qatar was a spectacle like no other. It was the first ever World Cup held in the Middle East and the first to be played in the winter due to Qatar's scorching summer temperatures. Qatar's selection as the host nation sparked widespread debate. Allegations of corruption in the bidding process and concerns about human rights overshadowed the tournament's build-up. Despite this, Qatar delivered state-of-the-art stadiums and impressive infrastructure, showcasing the country's modernity and wealth. The tournament was held in 8 magnificent stadiums, all within a 50-kilometer radius of the capital, Doha. This compact setup allowed fans to attend multiple matches in one day, creating an electric atmosphere. Despite criticism, the logistical success and warm hospitality were praised by many visitors. For the first time in history, the World Cup was played in November and December to avoid Qatar's extreme summer heat. This mid-season schedule posed challenges for clubs and players, impacting domestic leagues worldwide. However, the timing meant players were fresher than usual, leading to fast-paced, high-quality football. It also brought unique challenges for fans, as traditional summer festivities gave way to winter celebrations in many parts of the world. The group stage delivered exhilarating football and stunning surprises. In one of the greatest World Cup upsets, Saudi Arabia defeated Argentina 2-1, ending the South American Giants' 36-match unbeaten run. It was a wake-up call for Messi and his team, but also the spark that ignited their incredible comeback. Four-time champions Germany were eliminated in the group stage once again, despite a thrilling 4-2 victory over Costa Rica. Japan's stunning wins over Germany and Spain sealed their fate. For the first time, three Asian teams, Japan, South Korea, and Australia, reached the knockout stages. Meanwhile, Morocco made history by topping their group and advancing further than any African nation before them. Cristiano Ronaldo became the first man to score in 5 different World Cups, solidifying his place in football history. Go to the round of 16. Messi impressed with a brilliant performance, leading Argentina to a 2-1 victory over Australia. Morocco stunned Spain in a penalty shootout, becoming the first Arab nation to reach the quarterfinals. Brazil's dazzling 4-1 victory over South Korea showcased their attacking brilliance, but they were later stunned by Croatia in the quarterfinals after a dramatic penalty shootout. Quarterfinals. In a match filled with tension and drama, Argentina defeated the Netherlands in a penalty shootout after a 2-2 draw. The game saw a record 18 yellow cards, heated confrontations, and Messi's magic. Morocco defeated Portugal 1-0, becoming the first African team to reach the semifinals. Their disciplined defense and counterattacking style inspired the world. In the semifinals, Messi produced one of his greatest performances, assisting a spectacular goal by Julian Alvarez and scoring from the penalty spot in a 3-0 victory over Croatia. In the other match, France ended Morocco's dream run with a 2-0 win, but Morocco's achievement was celebrated across Africa and the Arab world. On December 18, 2022, at the Lusail iconic stadium, Argentina faced defending champions France in what became one of the most thrilling finals in World Cup history. In the first half, Argentina dominated with Messi's penalty and a beautiful team goal finished by Angel Di Maria, leading 2-0. Go to the second half, Kylian Mbappé single-handedly brought France back, scoring twice in 2 minutes, 80th and 81st minutes, including a stunning volley. The two teams entered extra time. Messi scored again in the 108th minute, but Mbappé completed his hat trick with a penalty, making it 3-3. In the decisive penalty shootout, with the brilliance of goalkeeper Emiliano Martinez, Argentina won 4-2. Messi finally lifted the trophy, making his lifelong dream come true. The 2022 World Cup solidified Lionel Messi's status as one of football's greatest legends. At 35, Messi delivered mesmerizing performances, scoring 7 goals and providing 3 assists. He became the first player to score in every knockout round of a World Cup, leading by example with his vision, dribbling, and leadership. Winning the Golden Ball as the tournament's best player, Messi's victory completed his illustrious career, achieving what many considered the ultimate prize. His emotional celebration, surrounded by teammates and fans, became an iconic image that will be remembered for generations. Kylian Mbappé became the first player since Jeff Hurst in 1966 to score a hat-trick in a World Cup final. With 8 goals, he won the Golden Boot as the tournament's top scorer. At just 23, Mbappé reaffirmed his status as the heir to football's throne, captivating audiences with his speed, skill, and finishing prowess. And that is the incredible story of the FIFA World Cup, a journey through time filled with passion, glory, and unforgettable memories. From the first tournament in 1930 to the latest spectacle in 2022, football has proven to be more than just a game. It's a language that unites the world. The legends, the heartbreaks, the victories, they all remind us why we love this sport. But the story doesn't end here. New heroes will rise, new records will be broken, and new memories will be made. As we look forward to the next chapter, one question remains: who will conquer the world next? If you enjoyed this journey through football history, make sure to like this video, share it with fellow football fans, and subscribe to our channel. Don't miss out on more exciting football content. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.